Hey, this is Lawrence Tam. Don't mind the crazy hair. I'm in the lab right now working, and I wanted to give you a really cool tip on how to use Facebook graph search. If you've never seen this or if you haven't applied for it, just go to Google. Let me just go to Google real quick, and then just type in Facebook graph search right there, and then there'll be a link here introducing you to Facebook graph search. It's a free thing that Facebook has, but for whatever reason, you have to apply for it. I believe I applied for it like a couple weeks ago, and I have it right here. It says, thanks, you're already using graph search. Hey, cool. All right, I already have it. Now, check this out. Now, what graph search is, it allows you to actually dive into more information. Now, if you're a marketer, your mind should be like, what are you talking about? I can get more info on people and serve them better. And like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like if someone who's a vegetarian and all you do is serve, like the best prime cuts and steaks in Houston, you're probably not wanting to promote and advertise to a vegetarian. But obviously, if you are, you're probably spending time and resources on someone who will never buy your product. It doesn't solve a problem of theirs. But if you talk about, maybe a really cool vegan dish and you specifically serve it to that person, you'll have a win. You're matching their wants and needs, right? Now, how do you do this? How does an advertiser know who to advertise to if you don't really know the person? You don't even know their name until Facebook graph search. So check this out. So first thing, what I would be like, if you want to start doing regional targeting, you can do regional targeting by saying people who live in Houston, Texas. So you can physically find people who live in Houston, Texas who are on Facebook. Now how good is this? It's probably not that great because, when you do this, you don't really know much about them, what they do, but at least you know that they're in Houston. So let's say you're doing like a fundraiser. Let's say you're doing like a March for Dimes, or you're doing we're doing a cancer run pretty soon. Like if you want to promote that, right? It's only in Houston. You can throw an ad together where you're only targeting people in Houston. You can scrape this list, right, to these people, and you can be like, who like was it what was it? Cancer research. Oh no, MD Anderson. MD Anderson. Now, why is that important? So let's say, like, I'm going to this cancer run, right? And I want to promote and give awareness to people who are in Houston and who already like MD Anderson. If they like MD Anderson, there's probably a connection between what MD Anderson did for them in terms of, like cancer research or maybe surgeries. So you can bring together those people by marketing just to them in Houston who like MD Anderson, put an ad together. The tighter the niche, the tighter the audience you put into Facebook, and more people actually, like if you showed 10 ads and 5 of them were being clicked at a 50% click through, Facebook's like, wow, people really like this ad. I'll continue to serve it and even make it cheaper. See, Facebook, they just want to be able to serve the best ads. But the problem with advertising is a lot of people serve ads to people who don't even want it. Like, what if people, didn't live in Houston, but you keep shoving, like, Houston ads to them? They're like, dude, I'm in, like, Germany now. Why are you sending me this stuff? I'm not even in Houston, right? So it's not pertaining to them. So if you're, like, a charity organizer, or if you're running a crawfish boil for your church, these are the things. So let's say you're in Houston, Texas, who like Baptist church. Who like Baptist. So then you get to a point where it's like, wow, I scraped together a lot of people who live in Houston, Texas, who like, Baptist church. Maybe I'd do a crawfish boil. Maybe we were doing a fundraiser for, little Joey to get his crutches or whatever. And your church is running one, and you can bring more people to your church. This is targeted advertising, right? Now that's the geo-targeted. That's the stuff when I talk about geo-targeted. This is how you use it. This is how you scrape with it. There's many tools you can use with this. There's a lot of tools that are slow, a lot of tools that are new. But in this one, you can just message. Now, I wouldn't message more than, say, 5 to 10 people a day. But let's say you get a whole church. Let's say you had 10 people and you did it, like crowdsourcing. You had multiple people working on this, connecting with people. Hey, how you doing? Looks like you're from, Baton Rouge. I want to say hi, Leroy. Welcome to Houston. It looks like, you like the Baptist faith. Well, we have a crawfish boil down in Houston. These are all the different things you can do, right? Now, let's say you're one of my clients that I'm working with. He's a trainer, right? So people who live in Houston, Texas, who like who like who's a uh, uh, who's the workout guy? Let's say Body by Jake. Body by Jake. Or no, what would be a good one? What would be a good Jillian Michaels? Jillian Michaels. So right off the bat, you have people who are in Houston who like Jillian Michaels, and then you're like, maybe they have money. So I'm a high end trainer, so let us target people who have money, who like Jillian Michaels, and who like Whole Foods. Because I mean, generally the people who don't like Whole Foods are people who probably can't afford it and have no interest for it, who aren't looking to be healthy. Well, you can make certain assumptions. But if we can drill down to people who live in Houston, who like Jillian Michaels, who shop at Whole Foods or who like Whole Foods, right? These are people that could be a potential client. You should be reaching out to them and say, hey, I have a 50% discount. I saw that you're on Facebook. I would love to connect with you. These are different ways you can definitely connect and build an audience. So let's say you run a boot camp. This is totally one way you can do it. Another way you can do it is who like CrossFit. Oh, no one likes CrossFit, really. People who like CrossFit. People who like CrossFit. Maybe CrossFit's not real big. Friends of Jillian Michaels. And so then maybe you can start targeting into friends of friends. Now, if you're an internet marketer, now think about this, friends of friends, this is where it starts to get really deep. Like, you can start really going into a lot of different things when you go into friends of friends. Because generally when someone is of one person, generally you'll have people who are very similar, right? Very similar. And if you want to serve one person, there could be a good chance you might serve multiple people, right? But let's just say you want to target Democrats, and then from Democrats, like people, like you're doing you're doing a campaign, all right? You're doing an actual presidential campaign. People who live in Houston, Texas, who like Obama. Who like Obama. You're starting to like just totally just narrow down into exactly what you want to do. Now, as a paid marketer, let's say your thing is, let's say you sell tools and services. Let's say you sell products to a certain type of person. The ad that speaks like most closely to that person is the ad that gets clicked on and the ad that Facebook wants to serve, right? So here's an example. People who live in Houston who like Walking Dead and who work from home. Let's see if anybody shows up. Nope. So this time it kicks us out to a web search. I think I asked too many. Now let's say, and likes, works, who like entrepreneur on fire, which is like another entrepreneur thing, right? So if the person lives in Houston and they like Walking Dead and they like Entrepreneur on Fire, which is for entrepreneurs, it's more targeted entrepreneurs, what you can do is you can target, why don't you make an ad that has like the look of a Walking Dead or talks about zombies? Now, entrepreneurs always talk about, don't be a zombie. Like, if you want to work for somebody, that's fantastic, but don't be a zombie thinking that you don't have an opportunity to work for yourself as an entrepreneur. You can have ad copy specifically to people and have ads targeting, knowing that what they had liked and what their preferences are. You can totally dive down into things like where they went to school. Maybe, let's say Fanatical University of Texas. People who go to University of Texas at Austin, right? But what us who like AWeber marketing. So, two things you can know from this. Number one, they went to UT, so they're probably very familiar with the burnt orange. And number two, if they're familiar with AWeber, The only reason you know what even AWeber is or why you even liked it is because you probably use the service. So you probably run some type of business. You then can go and target, why don't you use burnt orange colors? And physically talk to that person, hey guys, hook them. And you target an ad specifically talking to them, hey, hook them. I see that you're using some tools and services. How about I show you one way you can do X, Y, and Z? Because you already know they use a tool, and you already know they, who went to Austin. You're targeting them. And in copy, the easiest way to get someone's attention is not like saying, hey, you go, hey, Chinese dude with shorts and flip-flops. Like, if I look around and I feel like I'm the only person who has shorts and flip-flops and who's Chinese, I'm going to turn around because you're calling me out specifically. By able to serve ads that are very, very specific to the actual person, you can definitely solve their problems, maybe inspire them, entertain them, whatever your goal is, you can definitely do it.